that was a definitive moment when I realized that I was sleeping with a hater. So this is a perfect time for me to start story time today. Mainly because I'm going out later for Monica's birthday. Her birthday is actually on Monday, which is my mom's birthday, January 27th. So we're going out tonight, and I want to do my makeup anyways. I got a couple of things to do. I got a hair video to do, and yeah, so I want to jazz it up a little, and plus I want to talk to you guys. So yeah, of course, welcome back to another story time, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I want to start off by saying thank you so much for all the love in my recent story time, and thank you so much for the love in my recent vlog and my recent what I eat in a week. If you haven't caught up, make sure you go ahead and click the cards up here and go ahead and watch the video. It's a nice weekend. Go ahead and enjoy a couple of my videos this weekend. Today's story time, guys, was suggested by one of my subscribers in the last story time. She actually left a comment. I believe she follows me on TikTok because I did do story times on TikTok back in 2022. So the story time that I'm going to do today is about the time that the person ruined one of the most important days of my life, like a very important time. And I kind of get into details. I know sometimes you guys think I go off in a tangent. It's just because I have like a little bit of ADHD. So I just kind of like jump through stuff, you know, but I'm trying to give you guys backstories because it all ties in together. This person was very strategic with the way that he operated and the way he moved when he was being, you know, emotionally or mentally abusive. So I always give you a backstory because it always comes full circle. So that's what I do. So it does seem like I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but y'all got to give me a little grace. The thoughts, every time I tell story times, I get very, very emotional and passionate about it. Like, that's, yeah, I get like really passionate about it, and I don't know, it's just me. So one person said in the comment how I'm very assertive in the story times. I'm assertive in the story times now because I can say what I want to. Like, I feel like I'm out of the situation. I've been through the bullshit. I got into therapy, been in therapy for 3 years, and I'm just, my head is not in the clouds anymore. Like, I'm not in confusion anymore. So I'm just doing what this is literally who I always am. If you've ever known me in like real life, this is the Dom you're getting, baby. Period. So I understand how you guys are kind of like, damn, she's so assertive. How can she have gone through that? That's because back then I was in the cloud, honey. The person was mentally and emotionally abusing me and trying to tear me down in that sense. So I was hiding for some weird reason. I don't even know, because I can even think about it now looking back. I can't even believe that was me. That, like, it can never be me again. And that's the beautiful part of healing. I swear, that's the beautiful part of healing. Like, you can never get me the second time. You can never try me. Nobody could ever try me like that again, ever. So you guys know I have to start the story time by giving you guys a little backstory, because you need the backstory to, you know, kind of see where I'm coming from, or kind of see the whole point of view. I feel like you need that. If I didn't do that, I would just be coming up here talking about nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So back in 2019, if some of you guys know, I've been following me for a while, you guys know I went back to school. I was an LPN for about like 7 years. I graduated LPN school in 2013 when I was only 23 years old. Like, I had gone to community college first. It was taking too long to get on the nursing program with the waiting list. So I just said, forget it. I'm gonna go to LPN school and make some money in the meanwhile. Which I would suggest to people, especially if you're getting waitlisted, just go to LPN school. You'll be making good money while you're waiting to get into the RN program. There's a lot of schools that do our LPN to RN bridge, which is what I did. So I would suggest that if you're gonna be waiting on a waiting list, go get your LPN, go to accelerated program. I went to Lincoln Tech, and it only took me a year to get my LPN. And let me tell you something, I was making money immediately, okay? I always say trade school, go to like a trade school. If they doing nursing LPN, go do it, I'm telling y'all. So around that time, 2019, I decided, okay, like I'm gonna do I'm gonna do why I sound like that. So around 2019, I decided that I wanted to go back to school and become an RN. Obviously at this time, I'm a full-time lifestyle influencer. So you guys know I've been doing this full-time for a long time now. Like I've been full-time. I haven't worked as a nurse in years. I even got the RN and never worked as an RN. I've never worked as an RN, guys, which is kind of crazy, but it's fine. I got a couple agencies I could go back to, and that's another thing about knowing connections. I know a lot of people, so if I need to go get some experience for a couple of days, somebody will let me do it, because I worked as an LPN for 7 years. So I went ahead and decided that I was gonna go to Helene Fold, the one in Harlem, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna go get my RN. Now, because I already had prerequisites, I only had to take 4 classes. I took 4 classes, minus the science, but 4 nursing classes so I can get my RN. I'm telling y'all, 4 classes and that was it. So if you want to go to that school, it's much easier. They have a morning time, they have a night class. It's very flexible because they know people work. And if you've already taken all your science classes within the 5 years, why not go to Helene Fold? It's right in Harlem. There was a lot of people from Connecticut that was there, from Jersey that was going to that school. I think it's a good school. It's accredited, and I had a good time in that program. I didn't see anything wrong, but I know a lot of people complain about Helene Fold. So I decided to go to Helene Fold, and I was like, you know, okay, this is going to be kind of challenging. Around this time, it was 2019, so we had finished the science course, and the science course was like during the fall, I believe, during the winter, and then I wanted to start at the fall time, so I waited. So I started around the fall. Program was going well or whatever, and then guess what happens, guys? COVID comes. So COVID comes and it becomes more of like a hectic time in my life, right? So this is the first time that I'm, you know, doing school online. I never did a program, especially a nursing program. Nursing is hard. Like I'm a visual and auditory learner, so I need to like see the teacher talk, see the teacher's lips move, you know, the way they move, because I have a photographic memory. So if I remember the way they said something, then I'll remember like things for a test. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I'm like that. Like I can learn I'm like a visual learner, and like I have a good photographic memory, so I have to see it and remember it. I can remember it like that, right? So for me, it was a big shock because I've never done school online. I'm used to just doing school in person, so it was a big challenge for me. So even though the program was super hard, I ended up graduating on top of my class, and I actually ended up graduating with high honors. So I was really proud of myself, because let me tell y'all something, it was super challenging, and the entire time I was in the program, I got 0 support from the person that I was living with. This person never asked me a single question about how school was going, did not even care about anything referencing the program. I literally just went through that program by myself. And when I tell you guys that, I'm telling you guys that like I can see myself in that office sitting at that desk and just going through the days, like never ever supporting me or asking me anything in regards to how is school going, like what grades are you getting or anything like that. So you know what? It didn't even matter. Again, at the same time, I was so motivated to get it done that I really just kind of pushed those things under the rug. But when I come back to think about stuff like that now, I think about how like I had to put on that black woman cape and just be a strong woman. Like I literally had to do that entire relationship, just be the one to just figure it out by myself. I got absolutely no support from that person. So again, I feel like I was like numb to stuff like that. So I just kind of went about my business. You know what I mean? So I ended up graduating, and we had a graduation ceremony online because obviously it's during COVID time and you can't really go anywhere. So they ended up having an online ceremony, and my family decided to throw like a little party for me. Well, not a party. They wanted to do the graduation viewing in Connecticut. So the day of the viewing, the person actually had to work, which again, I kind of felt like why couldn't you just take that day off? Like this is like a really important day to me. Like why is this not something you could have just told your job, I need a couple of hours, I have a thing to do, like, you know, just like a regular, I feel like that anybody would have done that. But again, maybe I was asking for too much. So the person decided to go to Connecticut. He had his entire book bag with his laptop, his work laptop and everything. It was my sisters, you know, my friends, Alex, Sam, everybody was there. Dan, Dar, obviously my sisters. Everybody was at the house. We were all sitting there getting excited, watching the ceremony. This dude this dude just sat at the couch with his laptop. and just basically did his work. Barely participated in anything. Obviously, it was a room full of girls, but any man that goes to an event, a room full of girls, if you a man, you get in there, you participate, you have a good time, period. I just really feel like they just did not want to be there for me. Like, they just did not care about my accomplishments. And at the same time, I was really proud of myself. Like, bro, I'm doing YouTube full-time and I'm in school full-time getting this thing done, and I end up finishing top of my class. Like, come on. But again, it was a moment where I was getting too much praise. There was too much like, go Dom, you're doing so great, Dom. And the person, I feel like that they did not like that. He didn't like the fact that I was getting so much praise and attention and all this kind of love for my accomplishment. I really started to feel like this dude was acting like we forced him to be there, like he didn't want to be there. Like, I just don't get it. Like, again, coming there to show, I only felt like he came there to show face in front of my mom and stuff like that, but low key, he just did not want to be there, and you could just see in the energy. Like, I remember when I was going through deleting the pictures off of my phone and stuff like that, because I delete everything. I went through a video and all you just seen was this just bitterness in the back, just sitting there like this, just coasting like this. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's not the energy that I should have been around, period. Oh my God, this feels like deja vu right now. Kind of crazy, right? Very crazy. So the graduation went well, and around that time I was waiting to find out about my Enlex. The whole Enlex thing turned into a mess because they sent my test to Connecticut instead of New York. So I had to wait a little bit longer, but I finally got my test date, and I was studying like crazy, y'all. And when I tell y'all, again, I went through the whole studying process. I went through everything with absolutely no support. Never asked me, do I need help? Like, what is going on? Like, how are you doing with the studying? Never asked me a thing. I remember the day before I was gonna go ahead and take the boards, I got that UWorld thing, that UWorld app where you go ahead and take like the questions. It lets you go through the questions and it gives you 2 assessments. I ended up paying for the 2 assessments because I really wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing. Like, I wanted to make sure that I, had taken 1 assessment before, and then towards the end of me studying, the night before the NCLEX, I would take the last assessment to kind of see where I'm at. So y'all, the night before the NCLEX, I take the last assessment, right? And I'm sitting up, it's about like maybe like 9 o'clock, because they tell you before you go take the NCLEX to go ahead and like to stop studying early, because you want to make sure you rest your brain up and everything, you rest yourself up nicely. So I was on the last assessment the night before the NCLEX, and I was just sitting there, like, when I tell you I was stressing, and I was sitting in the bed, and this dude was just in the bed doing whatever. I don't know what the hell he was doing. And I ended up finishing the assessment, and it told me that my chance of passing was like slim to none. When I tell you guys that I started freaking the fuck out, like, I should have never done that, and I don't recommend that. Don't take that assessment the night before you got to take the boards, because let me tell you something, I was this close to canceling that appointment, because I was like, no! Like, that prediction just got me right there, because the first time I took the first assessment, it basically told me like, okay, like, you have a good chance of passing. And then imagine the night you're taking, the night before the test, it's telling you you're gonna fail. Girl, I almost fell out. So I was in the room panicking. When I tell you guys, this dude just went to sleep. Just went to sleep. Just literally fell asleep. Didn't even say anything to me as I'm freaking out about it. And I know, of course, I'm gonna be a little dramatic, but this is my life. Like, I didn't make it all the way this far to fail this test. So of course I was gonna freak out. This dude just rolls over and goes to sleep. So I'm just like, okay, like, whatever. And again, I kind of feel like I was so numb to the behavior that I didn't have expectations. And that's what it is. I had 0 expectations for this person. I wasn't expecting them to do anything or to give me anything. But deep down inside, I really wanted it. So crazy, right? I wanted it, but I was almost like accepting, like, oh, I'm not gonna get it. And I kind of feel like that was kind of like, that's kind of like the point where I felt like he was trying to lower my self-esteem, because there's no way that I would have been like, oh, this is gonna be acceptable for me, I'm just gonna take this dude the way he is. Like, what? Again, he was attempting to lower my self-esteem, and I think around that time he was trying to lower my self-esteem, especially in the sense that I was about to go ahead and take this test, and I was gonna become an RN. I was becoming a bigger threat for him, because he was already jealous of me as an influencer. I go ahead and get another degree. I'm an even bigger threat to him. And that's what I started to sense about this guy. Fun fact, y'all, this is not the first time I've taken the boards before. So y'all know LPN's got to take the boards. So the first time I took the LPN boards, I actually passed it at 86 questions. So my test stopped early. As soon as the test stopped at 86 questions, I already knew I passed. It's either you pass, no, it's most likely you pass if it stops early like that. So I already knew I passed. Plus I remember the quality of the questions I was getting on the LPN one, and I was just ripping through them. I was like, oh, this is easy, this is easy. So I knew I passed, but for some reason, the whole RN one scared the hell out of me. So, and again, I don't know what it was back then. I don't know. Cause like I did well in school. So why am I like freaking out? I've already taken a board before, so I know the way the test is set up. Like I know how the questions are going to come in hot. I know what to expect. But again, I was freaking out. But I thought that was a fun fact to tell y'all. I've taken the boards twice for 2 different degrees. So I kind of had a little bit of you know, an upper hand on kind of like what the format's going to be like. So I kind of had, you know, a little bit of a heads up, but at the same time I was still nervous. So again, I went in the next day, I took the boards. This time I took the entire test. So they switched the test up during COVID time just because they didn't have that much space and they need to get people in and out because they needed nurses, especially during that time because of COVID. So they kind of switched the format, I believe, and they made it like 145 questions. Y'all, I took the whole 145 questions. So y'all already know, once I left there, I was absolutely in shambles. Like when I left there, I left there, like walked out with high confidence, but in the back of my head, I was nervous because I'm like, yo, why did it make me take the entire test? And then I had other classmates that were saying that their test stopped at 111 and they failed. So I'm like, either I did really well and they were just testing me just to see, like, you know, what kind of questions they could use on people, because sometimes they do that. And the way I was calculating is I wasn't getting repeat questions. Like there was no topic that was coming back to me on repeat. Although I was getting the select all that apply, I was getting several of those motherfuckers. And you guys know nursing select all that apply, just crazy. So I was kind of getting nervous about that because I'm like, they're giving too many select that all that apply. So like, did I mess up on that? So y'all, I was very nervous, left, just, you know, and I remember all the time, I love my sisters. I'm telling y'all, I love those 2 girls. Like they are like my everything. Around those times, they were the first people that I ever called. I never called this person. I called my sisters first, and I'm calling them. I'm like, yo, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like I was super nervous about that. Again, went home. The person didn't ask me anything related to it. If I wanted to initiate or get some type of conversation out of the person about anything pertaining to me, I would have to say it. He would never ask. It was never something that he would ever stop what he was doing to ask me about. So I just didn't say anything and he didn't ask or whatever. So a couple days later, y'all, because you know you gotta wait, I think about at least like 72 hours. And you can actually pay $10 to go on the board's website and you go ahead and pay and you can actually see what you got, if you pass or failed. And again, it's easy. It just tells you a pass or fail. So that good old morning, I was up. This dude was still home, I guess, because he wasn't going into work until a little bit later. So I decided that I was gonna go ahead and pay for the $10 just to see the grade, just to see if I passed or failed. So I go ahead and I pay the $10. And let me tell you, I was pretty excited because again, I took the entire test, so I'm nervous. I'm just like really, really nervous. So I'm like, okay, like let's see what gives. So I go ahead and click it and I look down and it says pass. So I'm screaming. I'm like just screaming, excited. Mind you, I told the dude that I was gonna go ahead and check the test, to see if I passed or whatever. And I'm just like screaming, I'm jumping for joy. And I end up calling my sister. So like I said to you guys, I'm always gonna call them first. Like I'm not, even if the person's there, it's not like he ran into the room to come embrace me and say anything. He just walked in there and was like, okay, told you was gonna pass. Like, you didn't say that. You never said that. And that was literally it. So it wasn't like, again, maybe I was building up this fantasy. And no, I'm not gonna say I was building up a fantasy. I feel like I deserve to have those moments. I feel like everybody deserves to have the moments that they want from someone. You just need to find the right partner to give you those experiences. So this person just didn't really did not really show any interest about it. Just like, oh, I knew you was gonna pass, and that's it. Just very dry, very stale. Oh, I knew you was gonna pass. So we're not gonna acknowledge like the crying and and me being like really like nervous and like, you know, being like, you know, maybe dramatic, but I mean, this is my livelihood. Like, I didn't come all the way here for no reason. Like, can we sympathize? Show a little empathy? Let's sympathize with people when people are going through like these, you know, times of their life. But again, maybe I'm asking for too much, right? Yeah. I was in a really good mood that day, y'all. I was just like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna have a relaxed day. I've accomplished what I need to accomplish. So around like, it was around like 6 or 7ish o'clock. Now you guys know that this person never ever comes home on time. This person is notorious for just walking in at like 10 o'clock consistently every single day of the week. Mind you, the job that this person works at ends at 5 o'clock. They're out the door. Like, there's no OT at that place. There's none of that. It's a regular salary job, so you're out the door, right? But this person always comes back around like 10, 11 o'clock. That's their normal thing because they go and do whatever they want out on the streets after. So this particular day, the day that I, you know, passed the boards, like I'm officially a registered nurse, this person decides to come home at a decent time. So the person comes to the house around like 7 o'clock and I'm just in the office still kind of doing work. I'm still editing, recording videos because money don't stop. Period. So I'm in the office and this person walks into the office and the person comes over and shows me an LSAT book that they got. I knew immediately right then and right there that I had myself an official hater. Like, that's when I really knew that this guy was jealous of me. Like, because a moment that is my moment, instead of you going out there and showing like, you know, congratulations or showing like, oh, you did so well, anything like that, right? You decide to take my moment and turn it into something about you. And I could not believe that he didn't show up with no flowers or anything like that. He could have at least taken me out to dinner, did not do any of that. I basically took myself out to dinner myself. And I'm just kind of like, is this the energy we're on? Because this is not what I would ever do for someone else. And I say that to say this. When I first met this guy lied about having a degree. Now, lying about a degree is so stupid because I don't care about stuff like that. I had a certificate diploma from a school and got my LPN. So I didn't go to a 4-year college. So you went to a 4-year college, so you say, right? But didn't finish. So the entire time he lied about finishing his college degree, right? When his job did a review, they were going and getting credentials from everybody and they needed to update the credentials on his position and his degree. Now, quickly decided to come back to the house and make up some lie because around that time he never told his mother that he never finished college because she kept asking him, oh, where's your diploma? Because I want to put the diploma up at my house. And he always dodged his mother about the diploma. Now, me being the kind of stupid idiot that I was, I didn't make a big deal of it, but that's a red flag. Like, why are you lying about something so basic like that? It's not even that serious. So he lied about that, and me being the supportive person I am, I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe you can go take the class somewhere and then, you know, maybe I'll help assist you pay for it and you could take the class and just get the degree. Now, the job was asking him, like, you need to show the degree or proof of the degree. So I guess he ended up having to tell the job, oh, I just have to complete one more class. Or I don't even know how he got through that entire thing, but he was able to finagle it to the point where he was able to go all the way to West Bumfuck, New York, to the school that he went to up there and go finish that one little statistics class. So y'all know I supported this dude during that process, and this was before I got my RN. So it was about like 1.5 years or 2 years before I finished my RN. I went along and drove this man about 5 hours up north to go to this school to take this one statistic math final. I'm not trying to say tit for tat, but it's kind of like, I was out there supporting you. You lied about even having a degree. You lied about your credentials and all that kind of stuff. Even almost got your ass fired at a job because you was a liar. And I'm out here helping you go. I'm driving. Basically drove the entire way there because he had to study in the car. Drove all the way there to help you out, right? And then that's how you treat me? Like, I'm out here supporting you, but then when it comes to my time for me to shine or for me to get something done, you can't stand it. Or you can't stand me. Or you don't want to be there to support me. You don't want to be around for it. When I tell y'all that, and let me tell you, that's why it pissed me off. The shock on my face when he came back to the house with that LSAT book, I was like, oh, We working with a hater right here. He's my number one hater. He's my hater. He's my biggest hater. Like, he literally does not want any me to get any better than him, or better than him, even better than him, even better than him. Like, at any stop, he wanted to stop me from getting to the top. I'm telling y'all, it was his goal to stop me from getting to the top. If he could do it by lowering my self-esteem, he'll try it that way. But the thing about him is I'm just too crafty, baby. Like, you thought I wasn't gonna go to school and succeed? Like, you thought it wasn't gonna happen? I felt like you were betting on it to not happen, and it happened. And of course, not congratulating me, you try to hurt me that way. But again, I had my friends, I had my family, and I also had you guys. When you guys showed me so much support when I posted that picture on Instagram that I finally graduated, when I tell y'all so much love, y'all carried me through that entire relationship. Because one thing he couldn't shake about me, baby, was my confidence. Y'all gassed me up, hyped me up, going through the experience with me. And then when I made it to the finish line, you guys were cheering me all the way to the stadium, okay? So, he didn't like that. He didn't like that. But what I did for him didn't mean shit. Like I tell you guys, it don't even matter what you do for the person. The person will see what you did for them. They just out there to take what they can get. And they don't expect, they don't have any intentions on giving anything back to you. This person gave nothing to me. I was giving too much to this person. They gave nothing to me. And I did tell him that I was going to help him pay for the tuition. Started to act real funny with me, and guess what? I revoked that. I never helped him pay for that tuition because he started to act funny, and I started to realize like, I'm not helping this dude with nothing as far as finances. I'm not giving him any money for this. That's his own thing. He'll figure it out by himself how to pay him, because I'm not paying him. So yeah, lied about that. I lied to him about that and never paid for, because you want to act like that with me? You want to try to act like funny like that with me? I'm not helping you pay for anything, so you can miss me with that. So this is the finished look, guys. You guys know I like to keep it real cute and real simple, whatever. I just been going for kind of like a look like this more often. I just feel like when you have lashes, it's just easier to do something base like this and add more emphasis with the blush, heighten up the concealer and the contour. And I feel like this is just kind of like my go-to look. And the curly hair is super pretty too. I feel like the whole combination is cute. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like my makeup portion of these story times are kind of starting to be similar, but for the ones that don't know how to do makeup, just keep following me every week and you'll learn. Just keep following me. It's kind of practice for everyone. I do the same thing, so y'all kind of get it. With the story time, guys, it is what it is. I take full accountability for everything on my part, and I know sometimes a lot of you guys say, oh, you blocked your blessings during that time, and honestly, I will disagree with you guys. During the time that I was in that situation, the greatest things happened to me. My career, my education, everything happened to me. Like, if you guys are talking about blocking blessings as far as finding the right partner, my life doesn't revolve around a significant other. Like, as you guys can see, if it did, I wouldn't have done any of these things. So I don't really feel like my blessings were blocked. I was supposed to be there for a reason, and because I was there for a reason, I was able to blossom. So I'll take the W for that one, even though an L, it's clearly an L with the loser I was with, but it's still a W either way, because my life has gone up. Like, I have increased my life. Like, the quality of my life, the things I can offer myself, you know, like getting a higher education, doing things. So at the end of the day, a win is a win, baby, okay? Period. So it is what it is, but again, you kind of realize who's in your circle, and I feel like that was a definitive moment when I realized that I was sleeping with a hater. I was dealing with a hater, and when I tell you my biggest hater, he was my biggest hater. He did not want me to accomplish anything other than what I came with. Because remember, when I first started talking to this guy, I barely was on here that much. I was just starting to get it up. The moment that I was consistent enough, he started to see it, things started to change. Y'all be safe out here though.